We are live. We are live. What's up, Facebook, YouTube? What's up, co-parents in the co-parenting um academy? What's up, everybody? Stevie, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me on.
You're so welcome. So tonight, everyone, we are going to be talking about co-parenting and relationships. So the dynamic issues that the dynamics that surround co-parenting, but not necessarily just co-parenting. So as a single father, what are the dynamic or the relationship dynamics that you face as a single father? That is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I have my good friend here, Mr. Stevie Davis, joining us. Yay! Joining us to show us how he navigates through the single fatherhood for Father's Day. We're celebrating Father's Day. All the fathers this month, we are celebrating you, and so this show is dedicated to the fathers. And we are also going to be doing a free masterclass for ladies and gentlemen that want more information from single father's perspective in how to navigate in relationships, how to balance your life, how to do all of those things. So again, Stevie, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here, and I can't wait to get started. What about you? What are you ready to share with the people?
I'm ready.
So first, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who you are, and just a little bit about why you're here.
Um, Basically, like I say, she tell you, good evening, everyone. I'm Stevie Davis, uh, single father, father of a young lady. So that should tell you a lot. But I'm a high school mathematics instructor, business owner. I mean, just a all around good guy. Just trying to make a better life for my daughter and myself.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, how long have you been a single father, Stevie?
Oh, be honest with you, within the last year, year and a half, I've been, I've taken on that role, just, my daughter and myself. It went from being, the holidays and weekends to just, she and I.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about holidays and weekends. What was that like for you?
Oh, man, it was hard. I was enjoying, that time when, kind of anxious to see her. And when I
Mm-hmm.
picked her up, drove to Mississippi, picked her up, came back to Georgia. We spent our time together, and then it was time to go. Kind of close to that time, I could always tell because I could see the look on her face, and that's the one thing that I never, what I'm saying, as any father, that's the one thing you don't want to see on your child's face, regardless if it's a male or a female. That's the one look that you don't want to see on
Mm-hmm.
their face, because in their
Mm-hmm.
eyes, it's like, man, I might not see you again, or I don't know when I see you again. But I always try to make sure that I was there, like once a month, I was a point I was doing it every other weekend. So, I was always there for her. I mean, if she
Mm-hmm.
called, I was there. She wanted me to come down, I came. So, I mean, regardless of that time, whatever it was, I was there. But
Mm-hmm.
that whole holidays and weekend, I mean, the weekend was real short, Friday to Sunday. I mean, the holidays, depending on the holiday, it was all right. Sometimes I got to get a week out of it. Then the summertime, I got to get a month, month and a half. But like I say, the weekends killed me. But like I say, I enjoyed all of it. Just to, get to see her face, get to see her, the smile on her face, take her to dinner, just to get to spend some of that quality time. But now, I mean, it's a totally different thing. Getting to see her every day, getting to go up and, get the hug, good morning,
Mm-hmm.
have breakfast, have dinner, have lunch together, just to hang out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a feeling that I can't even explain.
Yeah, yeah. Now, since we're talking about the relationship dynamics, from a single father's perspective, you mentioned that you had those weekends and holidays. So how did you manage when you didn't have her full time? How did you manage to have a social life and to really kind of have that balance in your social life?
I mean, at that time, it was hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard because my mind, part of my mind is there, my heart is there. it's kind of hard. I mean, you have to have someone that truly understands, what you're going through, or
Mm-hmm.
understand, okay, he's a father first.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, at times that just really didn't fall through. So you have to make the decision. Do I make the decision as a man to be a father, or do I make the decision as a man to say, look, I'm gonna put my relationship or this part first? A true man, a real father, he's gonna put that child first. That's what I did.
So speaking of that, then Stevie, then when you made the choice, how did that affect? I know, of course, you said as a good father, you're gonna put your child first, but how did you explain that to the people that you were with?
I mean, I just let them know what was going on. I'm a full time father, and there are certain things that I had to make sure they were taken care of. So I mean, if we couldn't work out because I had to make sure that my daughter was safe or she was somewhere that I was comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
then that just didn't happen. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I got to be there for her first. I got to make sure she's safe. I can't be out there, enjoying myself, having fun or having a good time, and knowing that she's not in a safe environment or she's somewhere that she's not comfortable. Because
Yeah.
once you take that role on, it's not all about you. It's about you guys. You guys are a team. She and I are a team. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that she's okay. And if
Yeah.
she's not okay in the situation, then guess what? I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a package deal,
It's a
right?
package deal.
So was there any like retaliation when you, because that dynamic is a little different than some two single people, getting to know each other and trying to work things through. That's a whole different dynamic when you're saying, I'm putting my child before you.
I mean, it's not just saying, oh, well, I'm put like this. As a woman, if she sees how I treat my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
if saying that she has children, then she understand. Okay, you know what? That's how my children get treated.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she has to look at herself. I mean, if he's treating his daughter as a princess, as a queen, then that saying that's how he's gonna treat me as a woman. But a
Mm-hmm.
woman should want to be with a person who's not, with a man who's not gonna take care of his child or his children. If he's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be there for them, take care of them, and make sure that they're okay, then she shouldn't be all right with that. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I've listened to people and talked to people, and a lot of them are okay with that.
Okay.
They're cool, okay. They're cool with that male not being there for his children. As long as they're taken care of, I can't be like that.
Mm-hmm. So when you came across someone that kind of was okay, or kind of showed you signs, what were some of those signs that you knew that they kind of didn't really respect you putting your daughter first?
I mean, you had to look at it. I mean, when you say you need to go do certain things for your child, or you need to do this, I mean, you can look at the facial expression. You can look at, if you say I'm finna do this, or they're like, oh, you got to do this again, or when are you gonna be available? I mean, me up front, I give you my schedule. These are the
Mm-hmm.
things that This is the time that I'm available. This is the time that I can move. And these are the time that I can't, because I know that as a single father or a single parent, period, you have certain things that you got to do. Me, I mean, in school, you got to do homework. She got to go to work. Got to make sure she get there, make sure she gets back. It's just certain things that I have to do to make sure that she's comfortable. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still dinner to be done. All of that good stuff. Even the things at home, the daily things at home that we do together. It's
Mm-hmm.
still that time has to be set aside for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about with her being with you full time.
Full time, correct. I
Okay.
mean, as far as when she wasn't with me, it was, those certain time, like those certain holidays, those certain holidays when she wasn't here with me, I actually would go spend the holiday with her. So,
Mm-hmm.
that was some things like, you can't spend the holiday with me. No, I can't. I'm gonna go spend the holiday with her. Or either when she came, it was like, you know, I'm gonna spend this time with her because she's
Mm-hmm.
only here for this allotted amount of time. So I got to spend that time with her. I'm not gonna bring her here and not be with her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had jobs that I quit because they told me that I had to get a babysitter. I'm not gonna bring my daughter here and tell her, okay, you know what, you're here, so I'm gonna go to work. No, that's not her. That's not the reason for her to be here. Her reason for to be here is for us to be together.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that goes all the way around. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a child and you're trying to date, You gotta listen to that child. That child, you know what I'm saying, that child plays an important role in that. I know we as adults want to be happy, but also you gotta look at that child because that child also has feelings about certain things. Sometimes we just gotta, sometimes we just gotta let things be and make sure that that child is okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how do you balance, Stevie? How do you balance making sure, okay, she's good, but making sure that you're good, making sure that you have a good all around balance.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's a struggle sometimes because it's so much going on. But like I say, be honest with you, as long as I know that she's okay, as long as I know that she's honestly okay, because they'll
Mm-hmm.
tell. Excuse me. I mean, as your child will tell you they're okay because they want you to be happy. Especially when they get a
Mm-hmm.
little older, they'll tell you anything. Hey, look, I just want you to be happy. But you gotta
Mm-hmm.
be able to have that relationship with them where you sit down and say, look, are you truly happy? Are you truly okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that they do matter. Their thoughts matter. Let them know that the things that they say, everything matters. So with her, I just we sit down and we have that that tight bond, that relationship. Baby, are
Mm-hmm.
you okay? Are you truly okay?
Mm-hmm.
She says she's good. Then I can go with it. I
Mm-hmm.
can she can go hang out a little bit, and while she's hanging out, I'm gonna hang out. But like I said, I have that boundary where I'm gonna hang out here. But guess what? It's gonna be that time where there's no hanging out. That's just she and I. So it has to
Mm-hmm.
have that balance. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna just hang out and then forget about her. So we have to have that time.
Mm-hmm. Let's kind of switch gears a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, you can certainly ask questions in the comments and ask questions on YouTube. I believe you can actually ask questions and we can feature them on the screen as well. So if you have any questions for Stevie, definitely put your questions in the comments. We are getting some comments in here as well. So that's awesome. But if you have any questions, I'm trying to anticipate some of the questions, and I have some questions here. But I just want to let you know that Mr. Davis is open to some impromptu questions as well. But I want to shift gears a little bit, Stevie, and go into the balance that you have with the co-parent. How do you manage that relationship where you are not sabotaging your peace? That there's a good healthy, some good healthy boundaries in there, some good communication, so that your daughter doesn't feel torn between the two of you.
I mean, that's something that's honestly that's something that's learned, and you have to go through it. I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, I can be honest and say, it wasn't great. You go through it, everybody split up, and you don't think about it, but the child is the one that's really hurt. So I had to look at that situation like, do I sit here and go back and forth, or do I become the bigger person at times? And look at my daughter. My daughter is going, she's hurting because she loves both individuals.
Yeah.
So there's some times where I had to bite my tongue and just
Mm-hmm.
take a couple things, take a couple blows because I wanted my daughter to understand that, hey, look, as a man, you talk to a woman like somebody, you treat them like a certain way. And she's even asked me certain times, hey, Dad, why you didn't, what I'm saying, you don't say things back, or you don't do it I see other people do. I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
that's not how it's supposed to work. I said, I want you to understand that you're not supposed to take, nobody's supposed to talk crazy to you. You're supposed to be respected. I said, also, I didn't want to act like that in front of you and, talk to your mother any kind of way. And like I
Mm-hmm.
told her, even I apologized to her mother. Even when we had some, some rough patches, I apologized to her. I told her, hey, you know what? I had to grow. I said, I apologize. And I told my daughter, hey, I apologize to you for any time that I ever, what I'm saying, was I acted inappropriate towards your mother, whatever. I said, I apologize. I said, because, that's not the way I want you to grow up. That's not the way, I want you to sit there and think that life works. And like I
Yeah.
say, some people say, man, I don't understand you. I like, but you got to look at it from the perspective of a child, especially when they
Mm-hmm.
start looking up to you. And I really didn't realize that my daughter looked up to me as much as she did. So, I
Yeah.
had to make sure that, she's out there, she's older. So I don't want her to get into a relationship and think, okay, that's okay. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about respect. Sometimes, they say you got to pick and choose your battles, and you got to choose how you handle those battles. So that's what I learned. I learned how to handle those battles, how to handle those situations.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, you're absolutely right. You got to pick it. You can't fight every battle. You know, I was telling someone today, you don't have to attend every fight invite you get. Preserve your energy. And so that's the same thing that could be said about co-parenting. You know, you don't have to fight in every fight. You could say, okay, God bless you, have a great
Yeah,
have a
you
great
have to. I mean, you have to learn, your peace. As I told her, it takes more out of you to be upset and do all of that versus just bite your tongue, and handle things the correct way. My
Mm-hmm.
castle is my peace. This is my peaceful place, and
Yeah.
I try to make sure it's peaceful for not only myself but her as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's important. And, like you said, in the long run, I think Cimarron mentioned leading by example. Even if the other parent is acting out of character, they had a bad day or whatever the case may be, you got to maintain your integrity in that situation because you want to make sure that they could see the example in you. How you going to be talking to them about having character and integrity and
Right.
then they get out of character, right?
Right,
So
especially at the older when as they get older, what I'm saying, you can say things, but they look at you like, "Hey, dad, mom, dad, I saw you do X, Y, Z," and you gotta like, "Oh man." So basically, my right now everything is leading by example. Whatever I tell her, I have to sit back and like, "Hey, do you do that? Do you follow the same guideline that you gave her?" So right
right.
now, what I'm saying, in this last year and a half, I've actually been changing a lot of things around in my life, and things that I do because hey, I'm telling her to do it. So not only do I'm gonna tell her to do it, what I'm saying, I'm gonna show her. So, I gotta change, I had to change things, how I handle.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And even um that is so key because sometimes we could say a lot of ways that they should be able to do it, but when they actually see it in action, they have faith that it can be done. It may be a little hard. I was telling a young person today, no, this what I'm sharing with you, it may not be the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's possible to do. And when you lead by example, you're showing her that it's possible to rise above the pettiness that's happening here. You're
It's all
showing her.
about life lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. I think co-parenting does give you plenty of opportunities to teach life lessons to your kids because one of the things, speaking of co-parenting, is you want to make sure that you're not using your children as um, your therapist, using your children as, or even using your children to manipulate the situation, right? So with that being said, if they see, okay, dad or mom is going to get help to manage this thing or to really, get peace of mind and things like that, then they could see that, okay, reaching for outside help is okay. I think as a community, we've grown to believe that we don't ask for help. We don't go and get help. We just gonna sweep it under the rug. And when they see you get the help that you need and you develop and get the personal development that you need, it allows them to see that it's okay to ask for help, to let you know, okay, I need help in this area. I need assistance in this area so that they don't have to continue to carry the burdens throughout their life that are unnecessary to carry.
Right.
Yeah. So definitely, that's a really really good point that you're making. But let's go back into um, the relationship aspect. So I want to kind of go into what you look for. We talked about kind of what one of the things that you do as a father and how you navigate with making sure that your kids are taken care of. But what do you look for, or maybe the right question is, what do you think there's a age that's more appropriate to invite someone into your child's life?
I mean, as I mean, she's older, so we're kind of more upfront with things. We speak on it and I let them know what's going on. So I mean, they know like we can talk and say, okay, you know what, baby, this is something that I'm giving a shot. I'm trying out, and maybe I may be out and she may come through. Like I might want to go to the movies. She may be at the movies and she sees me. So that's something I can't really hide. And I try my best not to hide things from her because when you hide things, then that just causes more problem.
Mm-hmm.
She's 14, so I mean she kind of knows the ups and downs of of what's going on. I mean, so we if month or two in, it might introduce them, say, hey, how you doing, this is my daughter, my baby, this is such and such. I mean, as a youngster, as younger children though, I think is you have to wait a while because they do get attached. When they start meeting people, they may get attached and that may be an issue. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure that you getting to know the person, you learning the person, trying to see if they're gonna be around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
as older, older children, they kind of already know what's going on. Probably already got their little, their little mindset going on. Hey, this is what mama doing. This is what daddy doing. So it's kind of easier when they're older.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I mean, you kind of don't want to wait too long, and then it get to the point because you also got to look at the point of how do they feel about that person. I know a
How do
lot of people. How did the child feel about that person? Because you can't have anybody in your household. I mean, if you got somebody in your household that your child doesn't get along with, or they have those feelings or vibes about, now your household is divided.
mm-hmm.
You don't need that part. So you gotta let them meet so you can kind of get that vibe. I mean, they can kind of see. Your child can tell you a whole lot more. Sometimes that than you realize. I mean, because you may be in there, all
All
in, but your child is like, hey, so I just got that feeling.
yeah.
By me having a young lady, I got to take extra. I'm taking extra precaution.
So speaking of precaution, what are some of those precautions?
I mean, you got to take the precaution of them being by themselves, or them being around. I mean, I don't want anything said. The dressing. Right now she, even though she's of age, I mean, you still have those little things that they can look at. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I mean, I want a young lady that comes in that can kind of be a mentor to her. I'm not,
Gotcha.
I'm not saying, hey, I need another mother because her mother can never be replaced, and I tell anybody that. But I want that woman to be a mentor. I want that woman to, hey, this is what a young lady is supposed to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah, you want them to have some type of a connection where, um, like you said, that you're not replacing her mother, but you want them to have some type of connection because you want to have a peaceful household, right?
correct. Want that to
So
be a peaceful household, but like I say, and I also like their relationship to be something that what I'm saying, that's natural, something between them. Nothing, sometimes people try to force things between two people to make it work. I don't want to make it work. I want them to have that natural, what I'm saying. I want that to be a natural, a natural relationship, something that's natural between them two. Something that
yeah,
they have in common, what I'm saying, that they can, kind of build upon.
yeah. Now, Stevie, you have a teenager, and I've seen this in my practice where things are going great, but um they go great for a while, because again, initially it's the honeymoon period, even with the kids, right? And then over time, um something happens and they have a disagreement. What do you do from a man's or a father's perspective? What do you do when your child is having a disagreement with the person that you're dating?
I mean, you have to you sit down and you have that talk between the two. I mean, obviously me and the companion, we're gonna have that we're gonna converse first. Or
Mm-hmm.
actually, in my case, my child is gonna come to me first. I mean, be honest, regardless if I'm with the companion or not, she's gonna come to me and say, "Daddy, we got an issue. Can we talk?"
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to the companion, and then we gonna sit down and try to work things out. But if that cannot, say it can't be worked out, then hey, that just something I got to deal with. Because like I say, at the end of the day, it's me and my child. What I'm saying, I can't put anybody before her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may hurt, what I'm saying, it may sting a little bit, but as adults, if that individual has children, I mean, she should understand that.
Yeah. Um.
And she may not understand that, but as a father who's protecting his own, I'm gonna make sure that she's protected, and if she feels, saying, hey, dad, this is not, not for me, or I feel like, saying she has something against me. Hey, that's just, I got to make sure that my child is protected, because at the end of the day, my child is gonna be with me 24/7. My child is gonna be there.
Mhm. So here's the reason. Well, here's a scenario that was kind of brought up. This child felt like the their dad was being taken away from them. They got their dad 100% of the time, and now he's dating, and so it's not the same because he's giving his attention to someone else. So the child is kind of acting out a little bit because they don't have the full attention of their father. How do you discern that, and what do you do with that?
I mean, that situation, that's that's kind of like an age thing, but like I say, you have to be upfront with your child at the beginning, from the beginning. You got to be upfront with them. I know if they're younger, that's kind of hard to deal, hard to do, because like I say, you're with them all the time, and they used to being with you. So I mean, that's a different situation. But if they're
Mhm.
older, I mean, you guys can talk, and also as dad has to learn how to make that time. He has to learn how to I'm gonna give her some time, give my child some time, but you know what I'm saying, you got to make sure that you give her that time or give him that time. If y'all
Mhm.
together, y'all been together, and all of a sudden now you slacking, you're missing out on certain things, especially some important things, things at school, going out, things that you got used to do. You got to make time for that.
Mhm.
Like I say, you can't just leave the child out. You can't just leave them out. In the cold. Say, you know what? Okay, I got my boo. So now, we hanging out, but the kid looking like, okay, y'all hanging out. What about us? So you got to
Right.
put time in. I
Mhm.
mean, that's something I
Mhm.
do. I mean, I make sure we put our time in. I mean, we spend our afternoon together. Uh, just I mean, whatever she wants to do, even if she just wants to ride around Atlanta, okay, cool. Let's gas up, let's ride. Let's spend that time together. We take trips together. So,
Mhm.
it's just she and I. So, there are things that we do that we will always do. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
those are those bonding times between she and I. So, any man, if you got children, you have to have that bonding time. They look
Mhm.
forward to that. And I know she looks forward to, certain things, the trips, the ride, even we just go, just go shopping, just to, just go to the mall and hang out. Even,
Mhm.
I take her to dinner, that dinner between she and I, sit down dinner, those times she look forward to. So, you gotta
Mhm.
have those times.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's kind of go back to, because this next question is about the other parent. Once you're dating somebody, and your daughter's good with it or your kids are good with it, and now the other parent starts acting up. How do you manage that?
I mean,
So.
that's a different scenario per parent. I mean, everybody's not the same. I mean, I've seen it go good, I've seen it go left. So I mean, be honest with you, with me, it's just something that you have to deal with. I mean, I know that like I say, I try to keep peace here at home. So I mean,
Mhm.
if I'm good, my daughter's good, then I mean, be honest with you, sometimes that's really all that matters, because I mean, the other parent is gonna say what they gonna say. I mean, the action is gonna be what the actions are. I mean, nothing. Some of them is nothing you can change on it. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of them are either their way or no way. But
Mhm.
what I'm saying, you and that parent are not together. So
Mhm.
I mean, that's just something they have to deal with, because guess what? They have their life, I have my life, or the other parent has their life. So everybody has to deal with some things. At the end, I don't think that,
Mhm.
as long as you making sure that the child is all right, as long as you make sure the child is safe, that should
Mhm.
all that all that should matter. But we
Mhm.
know, in the real world, sometimes that doesn't work that way. So like I say,
Mhm.
it's a different situation depending on the individual. I know
Mhm.
some individuals, they introduce them, hey, as long as my baby okay, I'm okay. And you got
Mm-hmm.
some, it's just like, well, nope, no, can't nobody be around my baby. It just goes, it just depends on the individual.
Mm-hmm. What about the parent on, like the other parent on the other side? Like, there, if the person you're dating, they have children, and that those children's father.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The first question I'm gonna ask is, it is father in the children's life. I'm gonna ask that question. That's
Mm-hmm.
something I'm gonna ask. I mean, she say no, it may be one of those, talks that she wants to have, or one of those talks she doesn't want to have. But I'm always ask, and then, I'm gonna ask to meet that man, just out of respect. Out of
Yeah.
respect, I would like to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
So he know who's in his, what I'm saying, in the lives of his children.
That's good. That's good.
May or may not want to, accept that invitation. But I mean, I'm gonna lend that invitation because as a man, that's something I would like that respect. Hey, I want to meet the individual that's gonna be around.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, where's the boundary when it comes to, say, for example, God forbid, you with somebody, and unfortunately the father of her children or fathers of her children, um, is, he's just very disrespectful to her. He's in and out of the kid's life. There's inconsistency there. um what, like, how much do you get involved with that?
I mean, honestly, the in and out of the children's life, that's something that honestly she has to put her foot down on. I mean, that's nothing I can deal with. Now, as far as the disrespect or whatever, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's something different because now what I'm saying, it's not on a disrespect towards her, but you gotta look at how the children are looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a situation. Like I say, it would be a case by case situation. But I mean, like I say, once you have that talk, hopefully, what I'm saying, those are things that you know what I'm saying, if need to, you can speak on. Regardless if
Mm-hmm.
he listens or not, what I'm saying, at least he knows, okay, man, it's a firm male that's gonna be there. And he's looking out, for my children in this way.
Yeah,
Some
because
of them, they take it in and they're okay with it. Some of them, regardless of what you say, they still, have their issues.
mm-hmm. And if he's been disrespectful, if he's being disrespectful now, 9 times out of 10, he's been disrespectful.
Right.
It's getting worse because now there's another, there's there's another challenge there, for him to kind of, I guess, show off, and maybe, for. So that's why I'm saying, like, how involved, like you mentioned that that's her responsibility, but obviously she didn't handle that, right? So you're coming into the situation, you're seeing what's happening. How involved do you get in with that,
I
or
mean,
is that?
I can't get too involved in that because I have my responsibility that I need to watch out for. Because obviously, if I'm there, that means my child is gonna be there. And if it's too if it's too disrespectful and it's getting real out of hand, then that's something I have to walk away from. Because it's not
Got
it's not a really it's not all about me. It's about my
mm-hmm.
child also. So if he's what I'm
That's
saying,
good.
he's that violent and he's that trying putting them in danger, then guess what? My what I'm saying, my offspring is there with me, so she's in danger. So I got to look out for her first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And like you say,
So
if he's been doing it, I mean, if he's doing it now like that, he's been doing it. So I mean,
right.
that's when you ask those questions. Okay, so hey, not trying to be disrespectful. Tell me what happened to the other relationships. And then she said, "Oh well, my baby daddy, my ex husband, or my ex, however she refers to him, he's known for running them away. Okay, that's that flag. That's something you got to look out for.
I get it. I get what you're saying. That is something you got to look out for. However, I'm just putting this out there, the angel's advocate, right?
Okay,
Women that have been in abusive situations, they need somebody to save them. Okay, I'm not saying it's your responsibility to save them, but if they're in a they come out of a situation and they're raising these kids, and their fathers are disrespectful, whatever. She can't control him, but how do you just walk away, or like, do you, what can you take? What do you take? How much do you take before you make the decision to walk away?
I mean, honestly, it's just gonna be it's a different situations. But like I say, once I kind of deem it unsafe, then that's why I gotta kind of draw the line because let's say it's not just about me anymore; it's about my child. But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask the young lady, excuse me, what about have you ever called the cops? I mean, have you did certain things? Have you did ABC? And if she said no, I haven't done them because this and this. I'm like, well, okay, so what about your life? What about your children's lives versus all of this? The restraining order. I mean, there are things that can be done. Like I say, if she look like she's willing to do those to help herself out because she has to help herself first, then that's
Mm-hmm.
something we can do. Okay, I see she's trying, so let me see what we can do together. But if she's
Got
not trying and she just want me to do it, that's no, that's not my honestly, that's not my job. Yeah, it's my
it. Mm-hmm.
job is as her mate is to protect her, but there are certain things I got to do. But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
there are also certain things I need to watch out for my own self, my own safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's got to be willing to go ahead and take the necessary steps to make
Right.
sure.
She got to take some step. I mean, if I say, okay, let's call the cops, and she stopped me, that's a flag. That lets me know, okay, you know what, you've been dealing with this so long that you don't even want to do it. So, there are certain things, that we got, what I'm saying, that we got to do. I mean, because like you say, it can't always result down into violence because guess what? We got children here.
Mm-hmm.
We got to look
Mm-hmm.
out for their safety as well.
Gotcha. Very good. That's good. That's good. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I have one more question. I think the audience wants to know, Stevie, is what is your differences in your non-negotiables now that you have a child versus when you didn't have a child?
I mean, honestly, I probably would let a lot slide. I'm a real, calm and laid back guy. Like I say, I try to keep peace. And
Mm-hmm.
now versus now it's more of I still keep peace, but it's only so far I go. Simple for the fact, like I say, I have to. It's not just about myself anymore. It's about my daughter, so I got to make sure she's safe. So
Mm-hmm.
there's certain things, just letting it go. Nah, we can't just let it go because at the end of the day, that individual has to have that respect for not only me, but she got to have the respect for my child as well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
also, like I say, I need that role model. So I need somebody who's gonna be there for, help her out, because I go to the nail salon, all this good stuff. So I need somebody who's gonna be there to help me out. And so if she got an issue with this, and she don't want me going to the nail salon or mean parents and things of that nature. Then guess what? That's just a line I'm gonna have to draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So your non-negotiables are more tailored to how it's going to affect your child versus when
Right.
it was you.
Right, because basically, I mean, as an adult, I kind of, I brush it off. I'm known for
Mm-hmm.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
now it's more of, certain things I may brush off, he might not brush off too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if it's something that's kind of putting a, putting a bringing a wedge between us, or it's kind of unsafe, or just kind of got me on edge. My child see that she picks up on that. She picks up on even when I think that I got this cool and calm face, and I got everything all right. She knows when I got something on my mind. She knows when something is wrong, so
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna pick up on that. So
Mm-hmm.
anything that kind of messes with that peace,
Mm-hmm.
I can't have. I got to have. I have to have that peace. I had to have that peace not only for myself, but I had to have that peace for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We try to keep a peaceful, a peaceful situation here.
Yeah.
But it has to, has to be peace. We have to, everybody need to get along and kind of handle things in an adult way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like basically the biggest thing now is you want peace in your household.
I mean,
That's
I want that peace. I mean, right now, I mean, I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I enjoy my peace. I enjoy, the calm, the serenity of home. Also,
mm-hmm.
I'm getting, I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm enjoying, coming home. Seeing my baby girl. Doing whatever she do. It could be homework or, just sitting there smiling. watching television, whatever, just going to the door and knowing that she's gonna be here, knowing that she's in there, enjoying herself, knowing, saying just trying to keep a positive environment for her. Even when
Mm-hmm.
I, wherever I see her at and she's smiling, it's a, I reflect on, one, this time last year, maybe I was traveling to go see her versus now, you know what, I can just go up here and see her anytime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So I think over time, anyway, your priorities change, and so that can make the difference in what what you tolerate and what you no longer tolerate.
I mean, you have to change. I mean, you like I say, you got to grow. You got to grow. They always say when you have a child, your priority change. You change. It
Mm-hmm.
does. But
Mm-hmm.
also being, what I'm saying, going from just being here by myself to her being here, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
things change again. So, it's like thing that I normally would do, now I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
It's more, I have to prioritize, myself and my time so I can get things done that I need to get done so I can have that time for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and you definitely yeah, you definitely got to kind of roll with the changes. You kind of roll with the changes. So, what would be your advice that you would give? This is a two-part question. What
Okay.
would be the advice that you would give to a single father that don't get as much time with his children? He would like more time with his children. What advice would you give him?
I'm going to tell you this, every chance that you get, savor that time, savor that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have pictures from when my child was born until now, because at once upon a time, those are all I had was pictures, was memories.
Wow.
Every chance that you get, you take that chance. I don't care if it's
Mm-hmm.
to go to a play, go to a little program they're having, go to a. I mean, I've gone to field days. I've gone just to watch her play outside at school. Take
Wow.
those, take those trips. Uh, take the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants you to go, come have dinner. I've driven from Georgia to Mississippi just to go to Taco Bell and drove back to Georgia the same day. Take the
Wow.
time, enjoy that time. Whatever time they give, what I'm saying, if they call and you got that time, man, take the time.
Mm-hmm.
Always, I look at fathers who, are not there for their children. I just don't really understand how they could do it. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you're gonna be a father, man, be there for them. Whatever,
Yeah.
they ask you just to spend that time. That's all they really want. To be honest with you, you can give them all the
Mm-hmm.
money in the world. You can buy them everything. But
Mm-hmm.
as they get older, it's that time. It's that time that you put in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So important. So important to build that type of relationship with them, and to let them know they are a priority for you. Even if, for whatever reason you get limited visitation, um, you know, take advantage of the visitation
Yeah,
you do.
take advantage of it every time. I mean, if they give you a day, man, take the day. If it's for
Yeah.
a few hours, take the few hours.
Mm-hmm.
That kid remember. I'll be honest with you. They remember everything. They remember the stuff that you don't even think they remember.
Yeah. Yeah. What advice would you give to a single mom raising children, um, that not necessarily she's looking for a companion, but what advice would you give her coming from a father's perspective?
I mean, you want to make sure that the individual that you are looking at or you're thinking about. First of all, they love children. Second of all, what I'm saying, they're gonna put that time in. I mean, I know
Mm-hmm.
that you have, you have that schedule that you're busy going through, and ladies, I know now, I got you. I know all the stuff you're going through, but hey, that time, you got your time schedule. They have that time schedule. So if he wants to be there, what I'm saying, he'll make that way to be there with you. He'll make that way to be there with you all. So make sure, what I'm saying, you get that individual that, wants to be there for you and your children. And
Yeah.
also, ladies, listen to your children. Your children, hey, I promise you, they'll tell you some things. They see some stuff that you might not pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what about the from the perspective being a single father, what advice would you give to the mother of the children where that father wants to be in their life and they didn't work, but you know, uh, she's not giving him that opportunity to be there? What advice would you give her?
Ladies, at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about him. It's about the children. You know,
Mhm.
give them that time. I mean, let them be in. If you guys can't work things out, let if that man wants to be there, let him be there. I mean,
Mhm.
don't do anything to try to force him to be there, because if you got to force him to be there, that's no
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
That's no good. He wants to be there, and give him the opportunities.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna make things happen.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I can tell any lady, man. If y'all like I say, if you guys can't work it out, let the man be there for him. He want to be there for him. Let him be there. I mean, if he
Yeah.
want to see him every single day, I mean, if you guys can work that out, cool. Let him pick him up from school, drop him off. You want to help him
Mhm.
out with their homework. I mean, give him that time.
Mhm. Mhm. That's good. That's good. That's good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Davis, for joining me tonight and
Now,
just giving us so much, so many gems. Because I don't think we hear from the fathers enough. I'm not saying that the mothers don't have anything to say. Obviously, we do, but fathers have something to say too. And I'm just so grateful that you came on here to speak up for the fathers. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching live, thank you so much for watching us live, and those that are watching the replay, I want you all to know I am hosting a free masterclass next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our special guest, Mr. Stevie Davis, will be the speaker, and he's going to be giving you even more stuff. He's going to give y'all some much more information about some of the similar things that we've been talking about tonight. But he's going to drop some real gems in that masterclass that you're going to want to know about and just kind of put in your pocket. Okay, this is not just for you. Remember, this is about your children. Okay, um unfortunately, some relationships don't work. We want them to work, obviously, but life happens and they don't all work out. Okay, so we've got to be sure and take responsibility to make sure that our children don't fall through the cracks because our relationships didn't work. So think about that. Make sure you click the link. I think it's above me. I think, make sure you click the link, register for the masterclass. There will be a recording if you can't make it live, but make sure you register, reserve your spot, and come and check us out next Monday at 7 p.m. Mr. Davis will be right here with us again. All right.
right?
All right. Any final words you want to leave with the people?
Well, like I say, man, just whatever you do, do it for the kids. It's all about them. I mean, we're adults. Some things we can take and we can brush them off, but at the end of the day, it's for the kids. Guys, make sure you're there in the lives of your children. Ladies, man, let the guys be there.
Let that man see his kids.
Let them be there. But at the end of the day, ladies, if you're out there dating, I mean, I can say this, you may see a man smile, but you never know what's behind that smile, because we had to put on that face, to make sure that we, keep that kid happy, keep them from worrying. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we put on, many hats, many faces just to, make it through the day.
Mm, wow, that's good. That's good. That's good. Well, you can't give the people all the stuff tonight, Mr. Davis. So y'all go ahead and register for the free masterclass. I will see you all next week. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing night, and have an amazing week. Continue your faith walk, and keep that mindset where it needs to be. Stevie gave us a lot of things to think about. So keep that mindset where it needs to be. Make sure that you are making the best decision for your children, and God will work it all out. He will. He'll do it for you. So thank you so much. And you guys have an amazing night. Take care.